I apologize. My the Lord, I'm still watching the TV show, y'all. I ain't getting a shower yet. Hold on. I'm still watching the TV show. I'm gonna get in the shower. I ain't did it yet. It's 4 o'clock already. It's all right. Y'all know how my schedule go. But I'm still up. We got up early. Anyways, the Lord put this in my spirit. I've already preached on this a lot. And I'm going to get even deeper this time. I'm going to be so, I think the Lord's going to have this, drill this in our heads. Because, Lord help me, Jesus. Listen, this is real serious. And I preached on this, taught on this several times. I want to say several times. Even recently, the Lord's been having us about adulterous women, and adulterous men. What was that last fucking week? Now, when I start talking like that, now we on some shit. That means that's some shit. It's some S-H-I to the motherfucking T. That means, okay, the Lord warned us last week and spoke last week. I'm going to make this clear. I hope people get on here. Adults only, children discretion, disclaimer. Adults only, sensitive content, and for some my language might be sensitive, but the God in the Bible said I can talk like this. God said to us so many times last week, adulterous women, adulterous women, adulterous women, if I'm not mistaken, last week, and then he even summed up adulterous men also. What is adultery? Let's get real clear. He said to the woman, they was going to stone this woman to death because she was caught in the very act of adultery. What the hell is adultery? I've got a note here. The Bible. Listen, if I'm not mistaken, one of the 10 Commandments, Exodus 24. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Adultery is someone being with someone in a romantic way that is already married. Whether Susie is married or Paul is married. Whether Susie is married or Paul is married. He's married and got a wife. She's married, got a husband. If Paul and Susie get together, that's adultery. We're going to break this down like that. Do I need to use doll babies? I mean, shit. Okay, we're going to use my fingers. This chair is not the most... It's a kind of reclining chair, so we got to do our best here. Because I need my posture good for this acting here. Paul, let's use name Bibles. Let's just use biblical names to make it easy, y'all. We got Esther and Paul, and we got Ruth and Boaz. We got Ruth and Boaz, Esther and Paul, Ruth and Boaz. They married. They cannot be intimate with no motherfucking body, nigga, if they ass is fucking one. Two become one, goddammit. You're fucking married, nigga. You ain't available. God ain't gonna say, thou shalt marry Lakeisha Gilead because she's single and you married. Hell no, nigga. God ain't thought. He said no to adultery. It's clear. It's throughout the whole Bible. No. Adultery is also, this is a married couple, and this is a single woman named Lakeisha. Okay? This is Lakeisha. Paul, Esther is married. Paul can't say to Lakeisha, along with Esther, if Esther is dying. He can't go to Lakeisha and say, the Lord told me, my wife might die, and you my wife. No. Until she's in the grave, he's then available. There's no adultery if she's dead. Ruth and Ruth could not marry nor be considered anything for God to put her with Boaz while she was still married to Milihon. Now, he was a kinsman redeemer. Ruth and Naomi have no relationship as far as family ties. The only family ties is that she was married to her daughter. So there's no blood relations between Naomi and Ruth. There's no blood relation. It is not okay, and it's unholy, and it's ungodly, and it's hell messy if a married couple is in ministry and a pastor of a church, and they have a young lady in their church for many years who then starts her own church, and his wife is sickly, which don't mean she'll die. Anyone could just not wake up. It don't mean nothing. But he can't just be like, oh yeah, this is, he's married, got the rings, they married for many, many years, and then just decide one day he just decides, oh yeah, so, Keisha's my plan B way in the back here. Well, so if this don't work out, something happened, I'll be with her. No. You married, plus you married them to my cousin, nigga. Yo, I'm just saying as an example. I'm just saying. Okay? I'm using me with both scenes. No, and to the O. First of all, you abusive. Number 2, you married. Number 3, you know my ex-husband. So no, you can't be with me. Hell no. No, God won't say that in a whole 1,000 reasons. How we're not in old school days. We're not in. Listen, it ain't 2 people on this planet. It's not. Listen. God ain't gonna tell. No, now we're gonna generalize. We're gonna we generalize, and y'all just hear the message. Don't get all deep or whatever. Think what you want to think. Okay, God speaking regardless. Okay, I'm not. Nobody called me and said, "Hey, Keisha this or Keisha that." Okay, ain't nobody gave me no phone calls in that way. Okay, but I'm speaking what the Lord's revealing to me in the realm of the spirit, though, and I'm speaking what I know to be true. And I'm also speaking truth because the Lord's been speaking to us, and he's been also exposing stuff, and he's been speaking to us concerning adultery, and we're going to understand what we don't do. And I'm helping I already know what I'm not going to do because the Lord already taught me this, but I'm here to teach you all this. So if anybody comes saying crazy, because listen, I've had pastors, prophets, or different types of men, false men trying to come and tell me that I'm their wife. And I'm saying, and this is before I even was anywhere where I'm at now with my revelation, my anointing or whatever. And I'm saying to myself, because I still got the Holy Ghost in me, who would then say, how can I be? First of all, I'm not even interested in you. Number two, I'm not even focused on that at that time, especially. Number 3, you married. When somebody becomes single, then they're saying something. But you married. You married now. You married and your wife is alive and your husband's alive right now. So a man that's single ain't your wife, and you a married woman? Why would God do that when there's singles out here? Why would he do that? He would never do that. So no, a woman is not going to sit there and be related to her cousin and marry her cousin's husband if she died. And God's not going to tell him to tell her before she dies, his wife dies, oh yeah, listen, no man will ever, because there ain't nobody ever came to me in a long time talking that kind of mess. Because I made this I want to say I spoke this kind of stuff online before. No man will ever call my phone and tell me he's my husband and he's legally married and I know he's married. Now he would, if I don't know, that's something different, that I'm going to see God and I'm going to go do some research. Because when I do research, I contact people that know how to go in the system and get me what I need. And I've done that. Because you're talking about my life here. I'm like, yo, go research, because something's not acting right to this. Just the picture here. I'm just like, yo. And that's what I did with that one guy I was talking to. I had somebody do some research. It was like, oh, yeah, he been arrested. I'm like, yo, I was doing my research. Nothing came about it. I said, God, I thank you, Jesus, because I said to God, I said, I went out there, leap of faith, talking to guys and stuff like that. But I would have to say, by the grace of God, in 2007 till now, I have not fallen for no dude, none, that was not good for me. Not one time has not happened, and will never happen. Because God ain't gonna let it happen, and God has given me these strategies that I'm teaching now. Do not ever, ever, please hear me out. This is the biggest warning I can give any single person. I'm telling you now. God will never, his word backs us up, he'll never tell you somebody is your wife that is not, he will never tell you to marry someone or be intimate with someone or be in a relationship with someone that is already married. He's not even going to say it's for the future. That's not what God does. He's not a liar. He's not a manipulator. He's not a deceiver. He's not a con artist. He will never do that. He will never give a prophetic word. He did not give a Ruth no heads up about, oh yeah, your husband Milion, you're married to your husband Milion, and he's going to die, and then you're going to have a husband named Boaz. There was no prophecy of that. No prophecy of that. Now, God knows everything. But God made it very clear. Adultery is, first of all, is only 10 commandments. And out of the 10, he put that there. And the Bible is full of scriptures talking about no to adultery, no to adultery. The woman could have been stoned to death because she was caught in the very act of adultery. What did Jesus Christ say in the flesh? He said, woman, your sins are forgiven. All right, you did wrong. Your sins are forgiven, but sin no more. Don't do that. Now, number one, if I cut somebody off and I got a police report against somebody, nigga, that shit will never fucking happen. If niggas is cut the fuck off, nigga, nobody, listen. There's one man that got my number. Two, my son and my friend. They're the only two men that got my number. That is personal. No man got my number. So that's saying something. I got a whole new number. People ain't got. And if they're not even on my Facebook page, and I'm still in the process of deleting folks, if they're not even a Facebook friend, nigga, they ain't got a motherfucking chance. Because that means you ain't supporting nothing I'm doing. And I don't let people in my life that don't even support nothing that I'm doing on. If you ain't supporting me, the people that got my number on a personal is people who are supportive to me. So if a nigga ain't even on, look, if niggas ain't support me in these last 2 years, especially, support my album that just got out and some more stuff, no. Abusive people? No. I was in an abusive marriage, so why would I choose somebody that's controlling and manipulative and deceiving and abusing? It would never happen. I will never marry a man, and God will never tell me to marry a man that is married. Hosea the prophet, God told him to marry a prostitute, not a married woman. She was still a single woman. And that was a prophetic warning for something huge because of what he needed. God uses prophets in unusual ways like that to give forth a powerful warning and to get people to change. But she was not a married woman, nor was he a married man. I ain't interested in no sickly old ass nigga that's fucking abusive. I ain't interested in no nigga that's married to somebody already that I fucking know. Never. Let me tell you something about me. I'm telling you right now. I was like this before. I remember I've always been like this. Before I was all into God where I am, talking about a teenager. This is how serious this is me. And I found this to be disgusting. Anybody I knew, they didn't even have to be a real close friend, female friend. They didn't even have to be real close. Just if I kind of knew you just a little bit. If I spoke to you 3 times and just said, hi, how was your day? If that's all it took. If I felt like I knew you because I see you go on the same bus as me, shit. If I found out a female I know was even interested in any female ever known me for the past, they know this about me. If I even thought it. And this is true, because I remember this woman didn't even tell me she liked this dude. And she was trying to come to me to tell me, oh, this police officer, he really likes you and stuff like that. I was like, you like him? No. She never said it, but I'm looking at how I'm watching how she is when he would be around in the shop. So I'm saying to myself, You like him. And I said, no, because you like him. And she didn't say she did. And that's all it took. Me and her ain't friends. We ain't cool like that. But we work together. And she didn't even say she liked him. They've been friends for years. And I'm like, yo, you like him. So no. Now, I already knew no anyways for a whole bunch of reasons. But definitely no to that. No to the fact that no to the fact that she said that. And also I'm not interested in a man that can't come and tell me himself that he liked me. And I'm not saying it like that, but I'm gonna say it this way. I don't want no female. I'm not cutting it off. You never know how God will use it. I'm not interested. I want a man to come tell me God said that he's my husband. I don't want no, don't send your female friend to tell me nothing. So that was the other thing. Her coming to me as a female saying, oh, my friend, he likes you. What? I'm a grown ass woman. This nigga couldn't come tell me that. So I'm already turned off by that. No, he should come tell me. Ain't nothing said in the way, I'm assuming. Is this something in the way that I didn't know about? So I'm saying all that to say, if I barely knew a female, didn't know a female, if I came across a female I don't know. I'm gonna go by this. If a female I knew and I thought that even the thought she was interested in a guy, he was off limits permanently. Cause guess why? Cause that's just how I am. Plus, I'm gonna say this part. I'm gonna be thinking about her. I'm not gay, so I'm gonna be turned off. Like, yo, nah. I'm gonna be like, yo, you need to talk. I'm gonna tell him you should talk to her. You should talk to her. And I remember I had a certain dream about this, this particular guy I was telling y'all about. And I had a dream and stuff like that. And I noticed, like, okay, this dream wasn't of God and it was real fishy and stuff. But I went to question this woman. I said to a female, I said, she's in a relationship. She's actually really married, I believe, also, because she told me they got married before. Whatever. You never know, people tell you the truth or not. That's why you got to ask questions, whatever. But I went to her and I said, hey, are you concerning a particular guy, or are you in this relationship with this guy? Are you planning on leaving this person you with? Like, is it permanent? Like, what's going on? Because I'm like, yo, I'm getting these spiritual warnings about certain things, and some real deceiving, wicked stuff seem to be going on concerning this man who's everyone's saying is my husband. So I need to know. I really in real life went to her, and she was like, oh no, she's in this relationship, this long relationship that they were married at one point. She told me they was married at one point, and she was like, no, she's just gonna be with this man that she's been with all this time. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, so then this dream is not right. This dream is kind of wicked, like, which I already got the warning that it was wicked. Okay. So whatever. So I'm just like, okay, so then that wasn't true then. Okay. And with the dream that was revealing to me was that also. Okay. So now moving past that. So I'm like this. If I think somebody's even interested and I know them, that person's off limits to me. But if there's wickedness in high places situations going on and trying to be deceiving and stuff, like the enemy trying to deceive me and sending me false men my way. So I already know, obviously, there's false women trying to come my husband's way, which I already been knowing that, which is fine. Not a big deal, because what God puts together, no man can put asunder. And so if whoever my husband is, if that's the will of God, and I believe that is so, it's going to happen, because I'm seeing 2024 prophecies showing now. I'm breaking all this down to say, so that's one thing. Number two, listen, if somebody is married, this is just as clear as day. God will never tell a man or a woman that someone else is going to be their next wife or their next husband when their spouse dies. Because they don't know when someone's, first of all, going to lead his life. So what happens, not me, but what happens if this woman or this man, they say, oh, let's just say this man, oh yeah, this man or this, this woman's going to be this person's husband next. Nobody does that. Who does that? You might as well be a Muslim then. Don't they have mad wives or something? I mean, you can't be a Christian with that type of thinking. I mean, you have to respect the Muslim community. I mean, at least they just all in agreement with that. And just do it together and not try to play games and then let the people choose that. But I'm going to mind my business. I don't even know if that's true or not. I don't really know all like that. But I'm going to just stick with the Bible right here. God is not going to tell a married person That's the devil. So now I'm gonna be honest, because the enemy can try to play with people's thoughts like that. This is good for everybody. This is because obviously it can come into a thought, and the enemy can give false dreams, right? Try to tell me this man of God, that's my husband, was somebody else's at first, but then at one point. So there's confusion, but then the Lord was showing me, how the enemy could put things in dreams and try to manipulate dreams and stuff like that. So that's when I began to say, if I have a dream, I need to line it with the Word of God. Or I'll go to a person and I went to her, I'm like, okay, because I'm like, hold up. And so she's in this relationship, and they were married. They legally got married. She told me at one point, and she didn't tell me they filed for a divorce. So I'm assuming she's still married. They still together. They got kids. And she's like, no, she's sticking with this person. Boom, boom. I said, okay. So I'm like, all right. So then that dream was a lie then. If you have a dream someone is your husband, like this is basically, she's a married woman, right? So we're going to just say, she said to me she got married. And I don't recall she ever got a divorce. That means they separated, but they still legally married, right? So if that's what she told me is true. So bottom line is, that means what? She's married. That means God will never give me a dream saying that this man is her husband if she's married. So I went to her real life and said, yo, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, okay, so then that was not of God. So understand that the enemy can try to come in your dreams. So that's why sometimes you got to ask questions in real life. And I didn't go into a whole bunch of detail. I just was asking her about, boom, boy, are you going to stay in a marriage relationship? You know what you're in? Oh, yeah, I'm not going to no way. No. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, okay, just check. I'm just saying. God's not going to tell a single man to marry a woman that's married. To take it further, I don't even believe the Lord would tell a woman or a man that someone is their spouse when they're in a deep relationship. And they becoming one intimate. They're making love. They're having sex. They might even be engaged, and they're in a serious relationship. So I don't even think that'll even take place. Because there's so much going on in that. A person needs to be what? Completely single and married to God. So even if it's a relationship, God ain't the author of confusion. Why would God put somebody in a position to get hurt like that? Now, if they just online dating and just talking, that's one thing. But if someone is in a real heavy relationship or someone, like the next step is somebody might just get on one knee. And don't talk about if they got kids together. That's a whole family. By the way, in the Bible, marriage was really about when you became one with that person. The moment you became intimate with that person, that was marriage. He made love to her. They laid down. That was the marriage. So marriage certificate stuff took place a little bit later. So that's the other thing. So you consummate the marriage. The whole intimacy part is marriage. Two becoming one, physically manifesting in that form. That's marriage. That's why you're supposed to wait till you're married. So if someone is in a relationship, not dating, they are involved, they deciding to be together, and they hoping that this is going to lead to marriage, God ain't going to tell you, yeah, that's your husband. Yeah, that's your wife. Why would he do that? This person's heart is with somebody and their body. God's not doing that. Why would he set somebody to get hurt? Why would someone be in love with a woman? They're in a relationship, or in love with a man in a relationship, and then say, oh yeah, by the way, that's not your girlfriend. God honors marriage. And if it's in marriage to God, y'all became intimate, y'all are one. That's marriage. That's marriage. That's why there's a marriage thing going on here two ways here. Spiritual one, lining up with the natural, the law. You went before the court, you went before the city hall, you got your marriage certificate, okay. That's one part of the marriage. The other part of the marriage is that intimacy that's going on. That love making that's going on. You produce life that way. So the thing is, so there's sin going on and there's fornication going on. So that means God ain't going to tell some single man of God or single woman of God to go marry a person that's fornicating. That person got to go get cleaned up, repent and stop. And then if they decide what they're gonna do, are they gonna be in that relationship or not? They're gonna be hot or cold. God ain't gonna tell me to be. And how I ain't no way I'm gonna be interested in no guy trying to talk to me, talking about, yeah, I'm in a relationship with a girl. You know, we've been in a relationship for 2 years, but you know, there's no marriage. I don't think she's the one for me, nigga. Get single and then get over her, nigga. Cause shit, you gonna be, that's cheating in. You ain't, I mean, what the hell? You in a relationship, I love you, I'm talking to you, you're going out to dinner, what the hell? You doing all this with her and then you doing that, trying to do that with me? That's cheating. That's called fornication. So you got fornication, either fornication or adultery going on. God ain't gonna tell me as a woman of God. God ain't gonna tell a woman that's single and a man that is single to get involved with a fornicator. He's not gonna tell a single woman or a single man to get involved with somebody that is married. Fornication or adultery is sinful. You don't do it. It's fornication if parties involved are not what? Married, and they are being intimate. It's adultery if people are being intimate, being in a romantic intimacy, a romantic whatever, and they are, being with someone that's married. Whether they're married or the people they're messing with is married. So God is not the author of what confusion. That is of the devil. God made it very clear in Genesis. He made it very clear in the whole Bible about what marriage looked like. It's about marriage first, but it's not about relationship. So Lakeisha Gilligan ain't interested in somebody who God ain't gonna tell me to be with somebody that's showing me their fruit. Their fruit is they're a fucking fornicator. Damn, I'm not interested also. You've been with this chick for 2 years and you ain't married her? I'm not interested. Y'all together. Y'all on dates together. Y'all are going to page. Y'all got pictures and stuff together. What I look like being a third fucking wheel? Hell no. So God is not going to do that even when it comes to someone that ain't married, but they're in a heavy relationship. God ain't going to give you a dream and say, oh yeah, or a vision and say, oh yeah, that's your wife. And she's laid up with some nigga right now, butt fucking naked, getting her fucking stroke on. No, she's fornicating. He ain't going to tell you to marry the goddamn fornicator. She's living a fornication. She got to go repent, stop sinning, like God say, right? And get it together and be single. She's not single. The whole point is she's still not single. The whole point is he's not single. Whoever he was trying to say that to, or somebody get a dream somewhere. So understand that's the trick of the enemy. In case you being tricked by the enemy by that. So if I had certain type of dreams, you know what I'm saying? Then I know that I'm not the only one, perhaps. So it's clear. God ain't going to tell us to fornicate, and he's not going to tell us to commit adultery. God is not going to tell me to get involved with a man that is in a relationship with a woman already. Does that make sense? God ain't going to tell me to. Why would he tell me to do that when there's a single man available? Whose heart is open to love me. He's in a, you know how messy that is? People having baby. Okay, so then if somebody get involved, that's how people have baby mama dramas, kids with the same fucking daddy, and the kids are the same age. Or somebody don't know who the baby daddy is. And then you got all this hot mess and going on at the probate family court. Because you got fornication going on and or adultery going on. God ain't going to do that. Am I clear? I think I got to break that down again. God is never going to tell a single woman. What is single? Let's break down what singleness is. Singleness is who I am today. Singleness is that I don't have, well, I don't know, because I mean, spiritually, you know, but okay, bottom line is, ain't no man in my house but me. Jesus is with me. He's God, though. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no man in here but me. God comes in, you know, his form is here. He's here. His presence is here. His God is here, right? And a human being as a man, no. On my lease, it don't got no, my paperwork is saying single. There's no marriage certificate in City Hall saying I'm married to somebody. I ain't got no ring on this finger. I got rings I can put on. I got my faith ring in the back somewhere. Which I lost one of. It's okay. It's no big deal. I mean, who said you got to have a ring on? That's another story. I mean, you can if you want to. Single is you're not in a relationship with no one. You're not married to anybody. This called what is your status? You in a relationship, you divorced, you widowed, you married, or are you single? Single is no one, you're not in a relationship with no one. No one out there is saying or claiming you either. Now you can't go, but I tell you what, and I know nobody gonna. If any, listen, email me KeishaDreams@yahoo.com. If there's somebody out there saying they with me, email me KeishaDreams@yahoo.com. I'm publicly saying this live on YouTube. I'm single and nobody's with me. Okay, until whoever God has for me as my husband is going to come to me physically, face to face, and say those words to me. And only man that can say that to me is a man of God that loves God, that's faithful to God, that walks in holiness, and that is what? Single. Not in a relationship. Because if I find a man to go, okay, he didn't get married, but he just got out of dating someone for 3 months. I'm not even interested then. Hell no. Because I need you. Don't even talk to me. Talk to me when you single, including your heart. Does that make sense? That's what I want. See, you're talking to someone who's been single for how long? Working on herself for how long? Ain't nobody got my heart. But who God has for me has my heart. So I don't want, no, I'd rather a man wait until after them. Wait until completely, Me personally, I don't want to hear nobody just coming out of something trying to talk. I'm just being honest. That's how far I am away from that. I don't want someone to even talk to me that is single and just dated the same person for 3 months. Cause I'm gonna be feeling like, are you over this? Like, cause I'm gonna be talking counseling mode, like, so okay, wow. So you are you over this? Are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like, you might need some time? Because what if that person, the way the heart is and the way the love is, give people time. I told a guy years ago, a woman he supposedly said to me, came out the blue. He told me about it when we first got together, and nothing much came out. This was like a relationship, not even it didn't even seem like a relationship. It was like we talked, we dated, we jumped into it, whatever. But anyways, so he told me about a female he was with, and she got pregnant, but she got an abortion, and that was before me. Now, I don't remember how long it was, but I think months before or something like that. Now, see what I'm saying? And so then while we date in this is a relationship, it was just terrible. That's why I didn't feel like one. But it was long distance. He didn't meet my needs. He said a lot of stuff over the phone, but then when we would be in person, it's like, okay, it was horrible. And so it was like terrible on all levels. I didn't want to break it down. So I wanted it to be over. To be honest with you, I was like, and so when he ever came to me and said to me, she called, and maybe he wanted to be over too. She called, and that she's having the baby, that she never got the abortion. And so I said to him, because I already had my son, and I said, listen, I think you should try to work that out. I said, I know how this can be, and I don't want to be in the middle of your family. What could be a family. Like, I don't want to. Now, I'm really that person too. Like, at the end of the day, I really want to do what's best for everybody though. So I'm just kind of like, I know what it's like. Like, I'm a single parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm dating you. Like, we talking. Like, we whatever this is. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, she has this baby, that changes things. She's pregnant now. She's having your baby, that changes things. A different type of bond potentially. There's a connection. And bottom line is, this is now a family that might be, and I don't want to stand in the way with that. So let me make it easy for you and move out the way. Because obviously, this didn't end. Do you understand what I'm saying? So hell motherfucking no. If somebody's in a fucking relationship, they off limits. That I don't care if the paperwork says single. You in a goddamn relationship, that's damn near almost married. Especially if your heart's involved, and especially if you're doing what married folks do. If you're doing everything married folks do, you're married. What the paperwork just ain't saying it. You becoming one every day. You can be a parent at any moment. So what happened? That's how people get hurt and all kinds of stuff. Because, okay, cool. You get with someone over. He broke up with her for you. By the way, supposedly this happened to me years ago. Oh, he broke up with some female, like I knew about it. Then he got with me. And the next thing you know, there's a baby being born. And then I find out years later, he had a kid with her. And then found out years later, she calls my phone talking about she been with him this whole time. Because people don't know. You even when it becomes relationships, It's still hard. People go from relationship usually to a marriage, an engagement to a marriage. So it's heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy. So no, it's fornication if they're doing that. It's fornication if they intimate and all that. If they're not intimate, I mean, especially if you're Christians, they in relationship, that means they plan on getting married. That's what they should be leading to. So bottom line is you don't get involved with anybody in a relationship. If they're dating and they just talking to people, that's different. You don't have a conversation, but it's no like a consistent thing. Because here goes dating. Dating is you meet someone. Obviously you gotta say hi. Hi turn. How to go from hi, I think we had a teaching on this. How to go from hi to marriage. So it's like, okay, you go hi, you talk, you whatever. Hey, how you doing? You might have met somebody at the bus stop, whatever. Now you exchange them, now you're talking on the phone. Now if you meet another guy, and I mean, I don't do all that. See, I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff. God is very clear. He'll tell you, listen, when it's for who you need to be with, God to do it. So I'm not a big fan of dating apps. I'm not a big fan of anything besides what the scriptures say. When a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. All we do is focus on God to avoid all this craziness and all this stuff. So to make it simple, to go back on focusing what we need to hear right now. Very, very important. God's getting deeper with this. He already spoke this to us so many times, I feel like, last week. Adultery, no. No to adultery. No to adultery. No to adultery. No to fornication. No to fornication. No to somebody that wants to holler at you and they are in a relationship. And I like to add no to someone that just came out of a relationship. Because there's a chance they're going to go what? Back to a relationship. What did I share my testimony earlier, right? Okay, I came out of something, it was over, but we were still what? Still doing things sexually. Did I plan that? No, it just happened. Nobody got hurt emotionally. Then we cut it off, whatever things, whatever. Because he something came about, I felt like was very disrespectful so I was done with it, and that was good. But nobody got hurt in it. So that's the thing. People have them, what they say, got a soul ties. So I don't know a whole bunch of people do your own revelation. I don't know what the Bible speaks about that. But that's what I'm saying. Those deep, when you become intimate, that's a powerful thing. Even if it ain't good, it's serious. What they call them soul ties. So that's what I'm saying. There's all these layers of stuff that go along with that. So hell no to that. Anybody relationship, anybody that's been dating the same person for over, I'm going to even say, if somebody's been on the phone and talking to someone and their heart is involved, I mean, it don't take sometimes a long time for heart to get involved. When someone decides, I'm going to say this way, when someone decides to date, first of all, if you dating the same person for 3 months and you still calling and get not more than that, I'm the Bible way. I just know the Bible way, y'all. God's gonna make it real clear. This is your husband, this is your wife. God's not the off confusion. That's just the bottom line. You cannot marry somebody. How about this? This is how you know. This is how you know you shouldn't marry somebody. If God told you you need to get married, no, I'm gonna say it differently. If you decided you want to get married to that person today, could you? Yes or no? If the answer is no, that means that person is not available for you. You know why? Because they legally married. You can't go to the city hall. They're going to look at you crazy as hell. So if you cannot today, the day they told you, if somebody try to say something like to you, just say, okay, so let's go down to City Hall right now. If we can go to City Hall right now, I can entertain this conversation. Can we go to City Hall right now and get married? Legally? No. Okay, then guess what, sir and or ma'am? You are not available. Don't you ever call me again. Matter of fact, that just exposed to you that person is an adulteress. And they're trying to commit adultery with you. Which means they're no good and they're not a Christian either. Does that make sense? Because a Christian, a man of God, a woman of God, a Christian would not want to commit adultery, would not intentionally put forth effort on purpose. That is called a organized sin. That is an organized planned sin. And so if you can't, okay, so can we go get married? Can we legally go get married right now? Yes or no? No. Then that means you're not available. Can you, oh yeah, I just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm in this relationship, but we're not married, you know what I'm saying? But I really like you and the Lord told me you my wife. Okay, so can we go get married right now? No. Why? Can we post our picture on Facebook together? Yes or no? No. Okay, why? Because my girl, okay, you're not available. See how those things will tell you somebody's not available. So I can't change my status on Facebook and say I'm in a relationship because they make those things available. That I'm in a relationship with you and tag your name in it. Can I do that? No. Okay. Shit. Then it is. Facebook can help you out, nigga. Facebook can help your ass out. Okay, so can I put my name, change my relationship status on Facebook, and tag you in it, and post our picture together and saying we're in a relationship the way Facebook be doing, promoting everybody that they're in a relationship and stuff? Can we do that? Yes or no? No. That means you're not available. You don't want the world to know. If somebody gotta hide you. So I hope that helps. Let's be more specific. God will never tell a person to marry a man or a woman that is married already, that is fornicating, or in a relationship, a committed relationship. Mary and Joseph was pledged to be married. They were off limits. Are we clear? Marriage is this. And this is what a marriage looks like. Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2, period. And Jesus made it clear that's not how God wanted it from the beginning, because all these things were going on. People getting divorced and all this other stuff. No. Someone being single completely. This is how powerful adultery is. That is the one thing that Jesus will allow somebody to actually be married if somebody actually commits such an act called adultery. So if somebody commits adultery within their marriage, that gives the other person the right to remarry legally before God. And if somebody is a widow. But while somebody is still married before God, they'll be committing adultery if they entertain something with somebody that's married. So the enemy wants people of God to be in adultery situations if he could. Thank God for Jesus, though. We're no longer under law, but under God's grace. But God still has his laws. He still has his rules. And God does not want us to sin. Adultery is still a sin. Jesus had to just pay the price for it, but it's still a sin. And Jesus made it very clear. Woman that was caught in the very act of adultery, do not sin no more. That's a sin. Don't do that no more. You know better. Don't sin no more. If somebody intentionally want to be a disobedient person, God said, do not even be partners with them. They're not showing forth the light. The love of God and the light is not shining in them. God will never, ever tell you in a dream, in a vision, through a prophet, because there are lying prophets also and false ones. God will never tell us, never tell somebody to marry somebody that is married. He will never tell us to marry somebody that is fornicating. They are in a relationship and they are fornicating. God will never tell us to marry somebody that's in a relationship. They got the soul tie going on. Basically, they're like married. Okay? Without saying it, they just calling it relationship, because relationship is supposed to come before marriage if you're going to do it in that order. So now, what should it look like? What God has been preaching and teaching to us over and over again on Facebook, on YouTube, and I want to say TikTok, and Instagram perhaps, maybe. Okay, maybe through some reels. God has made it very clear, Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. God put Adam in a deep sleep because God said it. God said it. It's not good for man to be alone. So that means if you're single, it's not good for you to be alone. Number 2, God said, I'm going to have a helpmeet suitable for who? Him. Helpers or helper? 1. God put Adam in a deep sleep. Took out of his rib. He took out of his body one rib. and formed him a wife. One rib, one wife. And not a backup somewhere. Okay? There's no such thing as a backup wife or a backup husband somewhere. That's called adultery. Okay, are we clear? That's just somebody being real disobedient and trying to be real deceiving with the disobedience. That is a witch for sure. Okay, that's a Jezebel for sure. That's a warlock for sure. Because a Christian don't do that. That's not what Christians do. Christians don't desire that. You are supposed to love your wife as Christ of the church. A married man cannot assume or say some other woman is going to be his future wife because his wife that he got now is going to die. No, he is supposed to love her through sickness and through health according to them vows that people normally say, and that's what you do. And you're supposed to be by your wife's side if you're a husband, and you're supposed to love your wife as Christ of the church, even being willing to die for her. You do not entertain a thought or an emotion or your flesh or anything else and then try to say God said to you, or you had a dream or a vision or a prophet or an apostle told you, or a bishop or a pastor told you that Lakeisha is your wife. No. Or Karen is your wife. Or Bree is your wife. When you're supposed to honor those vows that you made. Till death do you part. Is that not what you said? Okay, so you are married unless she died. And when she's died, guess what? Now you're single. I know of a married couple, his wife died, I think, of cancer. He remarried. That's if a person is a widow, indeed married is available for marriage. Now, do you want to give that person a little time before you get married? I think so. But bottom line is, single, Ruth is a perfect example of that. She became a widow. Her first husband died. She didn't commit adultery. God did not tell her while she was still in Moab, married to Milihon, while he was still alive, that she was going to marry Boaz. Now, God knows the future. He knew that was going to happen because it's already written. God knows He knows everybody. He knows the future. He knows everything that's going to happen to everybody. He knows it already because he's God. She didn't know that was going to happen. She meant her vows because she's that type of person. But her husband died. She moved so whole. She didn't know that the famine was going to end in Israel. Bethlehem, I believe, specifically. She didn't know. Naomi's like, boom. Naomi told her to go back to her family back in Moab. No state. She's going to her hometown. He decided to follow her. That wasn't the plan. If that wasn't the original plan. But that ended up happening. And she was being faithful to God and loving God and being a blessing to her mother-in-law. And they got rules and customs and laws on how they do things. And then God hooked her to Boaz. Put her in the right position for him to see her. And that's how they got together. Genesis chapter 2. He took the rib out of Adam, closed up the flesh, formed his wife, and put her before him. And he said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Two become one. That's it. So when someone is married, they are one with that person. The Lord already showed me kind of like what that's like in the spirit realm today. The Lord had me put that. Now he got me preaching this. He's breaking down this adultery thing right now. So if anybody, email me if there's anybody saying, matter of fact, email me if anybody's even saying that in general. Because I would just love to know. Because I love to address things. Because I come on here and address it. Email me and say, hey, I don't want to get no names out. But someone told this lady or someone told this guy, they're married and they say, no, this is okay and this is that or whatever. We can address that. Well, I think God has already addressed it perfectly right now. And I'm going to say this for me. Just because I've had men, pastors and all these type of men globally in the past try to tell me, before I was ordained with my church here, trying to tell me God said I'm their wife. And I let them know then, and I wasn't where I'm at now. No. Oh, no. That's a sin before God. The fact that you said that and you're a leader is even worse. Is even worse. Nor am I interested in a man that's abusive. Ever. I ever did that. Nor am I interested in a man of God that would, I'm sorry, a man who would try to slow me down from being who God has called me to be. And no. God said no adultery. He meant that. No fornicating. He meant that. You do not have sex with anybody. You first of all, you make love. You only make love to who God put you together with, the way Genesis chapter 2 say that's that. God will, if you a man and you single, God's going to tell you. If you ain't single, God ain't going to tell you somebody's your wife, because he already told you somebody was your wife, the wife you got now. You said God said that was your wife. Okay, so that's your wife. Did he say somebody was your wife at the same time? No. Help, Jesus, help. I'm going to have my cake and eat it too, yeah. I'm going to say this just in case. Listen, I'm going to say this just in case. Listen. How do I say this? I'm going to break it down like this. Every married man that I know personally, I would never marry. Never. So if I know any married man, I ain't got to say, I'm saying every married man that I know, Facebook, off Facebook, in person, churches I've been at or churches I visited or joined or whatever, or was around, any married man. And I had somebody and I said, first of all, I'm not your wife because you married and you supposed to have been a cousin. So this is what I'm saying. He tried to use the Bible with me. This is what I'm saying. Like, yo, this was like, what, last year? And I cut him off. I'm over here helping him. He's talking about he's dealing with health things. I'm like, praying for him. I'm like, and then he really said this to me. And I'm like, and you know my ex-husband. Ain't y'all friends? So people will say stuff. Now, people believe what they want, to each his own. Whatever. That's your business. I mean, I'll give him this. He don't go to church. He don't claim to be a Christian. So shit, that's what the hell he do then. But anybody in the pulpit definitely better not be saying that about me. I'm going to say it all together. I'm going to say it clear. And I know a good amount of married men, because I've been saying a very long time, right? And I've seen a lot of them married. I know a lot of them might have did ministry, business with folk, married, all that. They was off limits then, they off limits now. I will not, and I'm going to say this, even if any of them ever divorced or widowed, they all, my aunts still know to all of them. They're not my thing at all. Not interested. No, not interested. Never. Never. Any married man that I know today. Any married man I know. That I know right now, if he divorced, no. If God forbid he became a widow, or his wife cheated, committed adultery, he divorced her legally, he's, single before God, and he filed the paperwork, and he's legally single in the city hall. Every married man that I know right now, no matter what, my aunt, they could never come to me and ask me, and they can never come to me and tell me I'm their wife. Because I'm not now. That's why. And I ain't interested. How about that part? And I am a prophet. And I'm not interested. I already know I'm not your wife. That's why I never was your wife. And I never will be your wife. So now I hope that sums it up. Just in case anybody had any ideas. I'm gonna say it again. Me personally, every married man I currently know, 2025, if they ever was become a widow, or if they ever divorced their wife and they divorced their wife because they found out their wife committed adultery, every single man that I know that is married, I would never marry still. I wouldn't even entertain it. Never would entertain it. They could never come to me and say, God said I'm your wife. They will, in matter of fact, they will never come and say that to me. Now. So, now, just generally speaking for everybody, never, ever, ever, ever fall for that type of deception. Never, ever, 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 ever entertain a conversation concerning you and you desiring marriage. Never, ever commit adultery. Say no to anybody married. The answer is no. No, no anything more than as of the evil one. No, and keep it moving. Don't you ever speak to them again. If they say something crazy like that to you when they married, run. Didn't God say that about the adulterous woman? He said, do not even cross her path. You see what I'm saying? What did God warn us about? I say run. I say run, nigga. And me personally, nigga, I might cuss you the fuck out. So I know nobody gonna say shit to me. I'm gonna talk my shit and then I'm gonna run, nigga. Meaning, I already ran. Run to my promise, I run. Like, meaning, I don't deal with nobody now. Nick, I got a whole new number nobody got. But a few people, that's it. So that's me had ran from folk. So nobody I know that's married even got my number. They not even on my Facebook page. I done ran on there. If you want to call it that too. You see what I'm saying? So let's break it down again. No to adultery and run away from those adulterers. If they are adulterers, if they ever said any words like that to you. They run from individuals if they ever tried to hook you up with somebody that's married. Shit. Irritate me. Nobody gonna do that to me because I know I'm gonna say some words and such words. I ain't gonna go there because I might sue your ass for that shit. I went off on somebody just by them saying they want to pray for me to get married one day. And I was not focused on that. Like, I got pissed. So you can only imagine someone even saying, no one's going to say nothing like that to me, especially not now. Not where I'm at in my life now. Nigga, I will sue you. Because I done went through therapy for years working on myself. Fasted and prayed, turned down some food and some more, and some trips and some whole bunch of stuff. Then sold seeds financially, all types of stuff. I made sacrifices, nigga. I will sue the hell out of you because you're trying to come against my very life. Hello? Adultery? Shit, that's... God said what? He said, son, warning. Warnings on what? Adultery. What do I say? Say no. I don't care how they say it. The more deceiving they say it, the more you need to get away from them niggas. However the way the Lord leads you. See, if I was there, I would shut it down on all kind of levels. If I ever was in the midst of some leaders talking some crazy, anybody talking some crazy stuff to try to make sense of adultery in church. Now, if somebody's not in church, that's, they don't follow the Bible. You know what I'm saying? But if they're in church, especially if they in leadership, they should know better. Then you might as well just, then that means don't be a Christian then, because you ain't one. Don't act like you're a Christian. So people, if that happens, just know that they're not a Christian. They're just not. Christian's not going to do that. A Christian that did that, like the woman, she was saved because she said no more. She was in agreement with God. She was caught. She didn't lie and say she didn't do it. You see what I'm saying? God said, you know, your sins are forgiven. Sin no more. She moved on her life. You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, she knew it was wrong. She, you know, boom, she got changed right there. Bam, saved. We want to say that right now. So that means if you made him say, look, I told y'all my past, right? I was a fornicator. Not an adulterer, right? But a fornicator. Now, if I was an adulterer, I didn't know. That means if somebody was married, they lied to me and told me they wasn't. I went to City Hall and got married. So that means they had, if that was a lie, if they was already legally married somewhere else, that means he must have had connections with City. That's not my fault. That's some old, not the whole Jacob and Leah situation, but that's deception. That's like, yo, that's out of your control. You know what I'm saying? But as far as you knowing, but you see that didn't work because God told me not to marry that person anyways. But I was listening to other people. I should have listened to myself. He raped me the first time anyway, so that tells you right there that that wasn't what it should have been anyway. So then that's not even really a marriage because that was based on invalid consent. That was rape anyways and abuse. So look at that. And that's why they was taking it, perhaps maybe that's why they was taking it so serious. Dinah, Leah and Jacob's daughter, and Jacob's sons, you know, who when that guy raped their sister Dinah, they killed them. They killed those men and they killed them. Because that's a dangerous thing to put a woman or anybody, you rape them and now they legally have to be bound to you. Now it's like you got to marry them now. Because, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like, yo, being intimate was like marriage. She's not a virgin now. So now who's going to be with her now? They're going to say, you got to marry her now. I want to say that's kind of like certain customers like, well, you got to be with her now because now no one's going to want to be with her now. She's you know, she's yours, man. You had her. You know? But read about it for yourself. So what are we saying again? No to adultery. Adultery is adultery. Adultery is adultery. I don't care how it's dressed up. The key word, remember we talked, the Lord been speaking to us about key words. Key words. Key words. Key words. Key words. The person is married. Is the person married? Yes. Is the person married? Yes. Is the person married? Yes. It doesn't matter how it's dressed up, how it's called, nigga. I'll sue the hell out of somebody with shit like that. I will beat their ass with the law. That's what I would do. I wouldn't physically put my hands on. I will beat their ass with the motherfucking law. Quick. Yeah, that's what I would do. Because you know how serious that shit is? On all kind of levels. I will do a lawsuit, criminal and civil. And what they say, the woman who's caught a very activist adultery, right? Stone her to death. I'm going to be filing. Criminal and civil. Yeah. Because that's how serious that is. That's how serious. It's real. It's serious. Potiphar. Try to make that man Joseph commit adultery with her. He ran. What did he do? I think they said he ran or something right there. See the movie or whatever, but I gotta go by what the Bible said. That's serious. They was about to kill that man because she tried to lie and say he raped her. That's a serious thing. You do not mess with somebody married. That's a dangerous thing. Now, let me say it again. The key word is this. No to adultery. It doesn't matter what they say, how they say it, the way they word it. The Lord's been speaking to us prophetically about listen and then listen. And the Lord's been speaking specifically about focusing on the key word. What is being said? What is being said? What is being said is what? No to adultery. It does not matter. If you can't go and legally marry that person today, right now, in this moment, that person is not available. If you cannot go on Facebook, social media, and post a picture with you and that person kissing, holding hands, and telling the world that y'all are in a marriage or a relationship, in a serious or marriage, then guess what? And you shouldn't be in nothing if it ain't leading to marriage or being married anyway. If you can't do that in front of the whole world, social media, then no. You can't entertain that. Entertain it. Right? Because you still got to make sure. You understand what I'm saying? So if they say no, because I mean, we still working things out. We're trying to figure things out. I mean, I'm already out of it. The Lord had us putting together content, TV shows about this kind of stuff. And it don't matter. It be them old ones. And the young one, you can't think, the older ones, the older woman. Like the senior citizen woman sleeping with that man, married man in a TV show. Committing adultery. She married and he's married. He's helping her out. He's thinking nothing. She got him all trapped in. Oh, can you do this? Oh, it's okay, honey. Oh, nobody's good. It's all right. That's adultery. That's a TV show. It's not real, but I'm just saying it's still adultery. God teaching us these things, what it could look like. Doesn't matter. They can be 80. They can be 60 doing it. Talking about they married for 50 years, 40 years. And been whole. Adulterers, God speaking about it. They talk with dripping honey. Did God say anything about their body and their physique? Or their beauty, perhaps? He said what? Their words. Help me, Holy Ghost. Ooh, He spoke, come on, what did he say? He spoke about their words. The adulterous woman, words are dripping honey. Her lips, words. It's about the words. The adulterous woman is about the words. She's telling us, man, all this stuff, and it leads to the grave. The adultery is not good. They use words, so it don't matter. She can be, frankly, a hot mess. You better not listen to them words. It don't take but a minute to sin. If that, less than that. Look, I got a dress on. Dress up. In. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's all it takes. That's it. It get in there one time, it's adultery. One piece in there, it's adultery. It's adultery. The moment it gets in, it don't care if it was in there for a half a second or a piece of it's in there. You committed adultery. No, but I didn't. It didn't even. You committed adultery. If somebody called, if a man got on top of a woman and put the head of it in there, only adult sensitive content, not said head. Guess what? They're gonna call it rape. Yes or no? Oh no, I just want to see. Just let me know. No. Don't even open that door. Run. Flee temptation. So no to adultery. Know that an adulterous person or a person that wants you to commit adultery, which is an adulterous person, even if it's not with them but somebody else because they just want you to commit adultery, they want you to be in sin. They want that guilt on you. They're evil. They are the enemy. Is they're going to use words. So just stick to the script. The key word is what? No adultery. Say no to adultery. Say no to fornication. Fornication is being with someone that you're not married to or they're not married to, and you're not married. Does that make sense? Fornication can happen because you're being with someone that they're not married, you're not married, but you have intimacy and it's not marriage. That is fornication. Is saying no to a person, a man or woman that is in a relationship. Paperwork, they still have when you can check relationship, single, married, divorced, widowed. They're not single. Don't entertain. You can get your heart broke. They're not available. God ain't the author of confusion. That's not your wife. That's not your husband. When they are what? Single. They need to be what? Single. You need to be what? Single. And if you're a Christian, single married to God, male, single married to God, female, so God can speak to him and speak to you so y'all don't know to be together. God bless you.